The training session was supposed to be a stepping stone, an opportunity filled with promise and potential. It was designed to prepare the next wave of leaders within the company, offering tools and insights to help ambitious employees rise into supervisory and managerial roles. The room buzzed with energy as colleagues gathered, many eager, hopeful, and ready to embrace the challenge. The narrator, too, arrived with a mixture of nerves and excitement, ready to prove themselves and take the first step toward leadership. From the start, the atmosphere was intense yet hopeful. The trainer outlined the objectives, emphasizing the importance of leadership skills, communication, and strategic thinking. Team exercises, presentations, and role-playing activities filled the day, pushing participants to demonstrate their abilities and potential. Throughout the session, the narrator contributed thoughtfully, showing engagement and a willingness to learn. Their efforts did not go unnoticed by some peers, creating a sense of momentum and purpose. However, the manager overseeing the training left a very different impression. Known for a tough management style, the manager had a reputation for being blunt and unyielding, often delivering criticism without cushioning. As the session progressed, the manager's focus grew sharper and increasingly critical. To many, the manager's remarks were harsh, but the narrator had hoped their dedication might soften the judgment. Then came the pivotal moment. During a segment of the training where participants were asked to lead a group exercise, the narrator took the floor. Despite some initial jitters, they led with clarity and conviction, guiding the team through the challenge. Yet, rather than receiving encouragement or constructive feedback, the manager's response was unexpectedly brutal. With a dismissive tone and steely gaze, the manager declared in front of everyone, "You'll never lead." The words hit like a blow. The room fell silent, the hopeful energy draining instantly. The statement was not just criticism. It was a verdict, sharper, more profound, and more personal than anything before. It implied that attempts at growth and leadership were futile, extinguishing any immediate hope the narrator had nurtured. The manager's delivery left no room for discussion or debate, rendering the statement as an absolute judgment on the narrator's future. The sting of the words was amplified by the public nature of the remark. Colleagues who had shared the same aspirations now looked with a mix of surprise and awkward silence. Some exchanged uneasy glances, unsure how to respond. The narrator felt exposed and isolated in that moment, vulnerable to not just the criticism itself but the weight of witnessing eyes and unspoken judgments all around. Internally, the narrator's confidence wavered. The declaration, "You'll never lead," replayed relentlessly in their mind, casting doubt on everything they had believed about their capabilities and future. It challenged years of hard work, ambition, and commitment. The ambition to lead, once a bright flame, flickered under the harsh judgment. The narrator grappled with a surge of questions. Was the manager right? Did they really lack the qualities needed to lead? Was all their effort meaningless? Yet, even amid the shock and pain, a flicker of defiance ignited. The narrator recognized that one person's harsh judgment should not dictate their entire career or self-worth. While the words were delivered with finality, the narrator understood that growth and leadership potential cannot be measured in a single moment. Leadership is not solely a gift but often a product of perseverance, learning, and opportunity. This moment became a turning point, the crucible in which resilience was forged. The narrator resolved not to let the manager's words become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, those words fueled a determination to prove wrong the harshest critic and to rise beyond dismissive labels. The sting of that declaration was both a source of pain and a catalyst for determination, setting the stage for a journey marked by self-discovery, hard work, and eventual triumph. Looking around the room, the narrator saw colleagues continuing with the training, yet felt distinctly alone with the heavy weight of the manager's pronouncement. The path forward suddenly seemed fraught with uncertainty. However, beneath the discomfort lay a grounding truth. Potential is often unseen by those quick to judge, and true leaders emerge through challenges, setbacks, and unwavering commitment. That day's training session, intended as a hopeful beginning, had delivered both a harsh blow and an awakening. The manager's blunt declaration was a moment that could have ended ambitions, But for the narrator, it was instead the spark that ignited a fierce determination to turn doubt into achievement, silence into leadership, and rejection into opportunity. In the days that followed, the memory of the manager's words would serve not as an anchor but as a driving force, a reminder of what was at stake and what could be accomplished through resilience, effort, and belief in oneself. This first moment of harsh criticism became the foundation upon which the narrator would build a story of unexpected promotion and leadership that no one had predicted. After the training session ended, the narrator left the room burdened by the manager's harsh words. The phrase, "You'll never lead," echoed relentlessly in their mind, overshadowing the day's efforts and casting a shadow over what had been a hopeful beginning. The emotional impact was immediate and profound. What had started as excitement and readiness to take on new challenges shifted into a swirl of shock, confusion, and hurt. That evening, alone with their thoughts, the narrator felt the full weight of the manager's dismissal. The words felt like a challenge not just to their professional abilities but to their very identity. Doubt crept in insidiously, infiltrating beliefs about their skills, worthiness, and future. The bright vision of leadership that had motivated the narrator seemed suddenly distant and unattainable, replaced by an unsettling uncertainty. The emotional turmoil manifested as a mixture of anger and sadness. On one hand, there was frustration at the unfairness and harshness of the judgment, a conviction that such a statement could not possibly capture the narrator's true potential. On the other hand, the narrator grappled with the sting of rejection, realizing how deeply criticism from someone in authority can wound. This combination of defiance and vulnerability set off an intense inner conflict. The narrator replayed the manager's words from every angle, trying to understand why such a harsh judgment was made and whether it contained any truth. This reflection brought moments of painful honesty about areas needing growth, balanced with affirmations of strengths and past achievements. The process was raw and difficult but essential, a reckoning with reality filtered through the pain of disappointment. Despite the flood of doubt, the narrator refused to let the criticism define them. Instead, a quiet but growing inner voice urged perseverance. This voice reminded them of past successes, the skills they had developed, and the reasons for their initial ambition to lead. A flicker of hope persisted amid the turmoil, a belief that potential is not fixed and that leadership is often forged through challenge and determination. That night became a crucible of emotion and resolve. The narrator wrestled with feelings of inadequacy yet simultaneously set a mental boundary against defeat. The resolve to prove the harsh declaration wrong began to crystallize, signaling a shift from hurt to determination, a decision to embark on a journey of growth, learning, and eventual vindication. The contrast between the manager's harsh words and the narrator's inner strength highlighted a fundamental truth about personal development. Moments of criticism can be turning points if met with resilience. This evening marked the beginning of the narrator's transformation from self-doubt to self-belief, from external judgment to internal empowerment. As darkness gave way to a new day, the narrator's mindset had shifted. The pain of the manager's rejection remained, but was now tempered by a commitment to persevere. The narrator envisioned a future where leadership was possible, not in spite of the criticism, but because they had chosen to rise above it. This emotional journey that night set the tone for everything that was to come. It was the moment when a harsh word became a catalyst, igniting a fire that would drive the narrator to work harder, learn more, and ultimately step into the leadership role that once seemed denied to them. After the emotional storm stirred by the manager's harsh words, the narrator spent the following hours and days in deep reflection. Rather than allowing the criticism to crush their spirit, they chose to confront it head-on, using the experience as an opportunity for introspection and growth. This internal process became the foundation of a renewed resolve to pursue leadership with even greater determination. The narrator began by objectively assessing their strengths and weaknesses. They took stock of their skills, past achievements, and areas where improvement was needed. This honest evaluation was not motivated by self-criticism, but by a sincere desire to understand how to meet the challenges of leadership more effectively. They recognized that leadership is multifaceted, involving not only technical abilities but emotional intelligence, communication, and resilience. This reflection was accompanied by a shift in mindset, from seeing the manager's words as a personal attack to perceiving them as a challenge to be overcome. The narrator reframed the harsh judgment as a call to action, a test of their commitment to growth. This cognitive shift was crucial. It transformed discouragement into motivation, fear into purpose. To fuel this transformation, the narrator sought inspiration and guidance. They researched leadership principles, studied role models who had overcome setbacks, and absorbed lessons from books, podcasts, and mentors. This proactive learning helped channel the emotional energy from frustration and doubt into productive development, building a strategic roadmap for advancement. The narrator also began setting specific, achievable goals aimed at strengthening leadership competencies. These included improving communication skills, mastering conflict resolution, and enhancing decision-making capabilities. Each small accomplishment was a step toward proving that the narrative dictated by the manager's words was incomplete and ultimately untrue. Throughout this period, the narrator maintained a balanced perspective. They acknowledged the reality of their current limitations without letting these define their potential. This balance prevented the descent into either denial or despair, fostering resilience grounded in realism and hope. Importantly, the narrator reaffirmed their belief in themselves. They cultivated self-compassion, recognizing that growth is a journey marked by setbacks as well as successes. This emotional resilience became a protective shield against future criticism, helping maintain focus and confidence amid challenges. The internal resolve solidified into a commitment to lead not only through formal authority, but through example, dedication, and continuous learning. The narrator understood that leadership is earned progressively and that external validation would follow consistent effort and integrity. This reflective phase was pivotal. It turned a moment of painful rejection into the genesis of empowerment and strategic growth. The narrator's willingness to look inward, adapt, and persist laid the groundwork for the remarkable progress that would soon follow. In embracing this process, the narrator proved that leadership potential is not fixed by others' opinions, but cultivated by deliberate choice and hard work. The manager's words, once a barrier, became the impetus for transformation, a catalyst propelling the narrator toward a brighter, self-defined future of leadership and achievement. Following their deep reflection and renewed determination, the narrator embarked on a period of intense preparation and hard work. Recognizing that talents alone were insufficient to secure leadership, they committed to developing the skills and knowledge necessary to command respect and deliver results. This phase was marked by quiet diligence and unwavering focus, often working behind the scenes to build a foundation for future success. The narrator sought out every possible learning opportunity. They engaged eagerly in training sessions, requested feedback from trusted colleagues, and absorbed information from books, articles, and online resources about effective leadership and management practices. This proactive approach demonstrated an eagerness not just to meet expectations but to exceed them, a determination to turn criticism into competence. In their daily tasks, the narrator took initiative beyond what was required. They volunteered for challenging projects, offered to assist teammates, and sought to understand broader business goals. This willingness to step up, even when not explicitly asked, showcased their leadership mindset in action. Colleagues began to notice the change, not in flamboyant displays but in reliable, consistent contributions that made a difference. The narrator also worked to improve interpersonal skills, understanding that leadership was as much about people as about tasks. They practiced active listening, empathy, and clear communication, skills that fostered trust and collaboration within the team. By cultivating positive relationships, the narrator built a network of support that underpinned their growing influence. Throughout this period, the narrator faced setbacks and moments of fatigue, yet they remained steadfast. The memory of the manager's harsh words served as a motivating force, a reminder of what was at stake and why perseverance mattered. Instead of shrinking from challenges, the narrator saw them as opportunities to prove their capability and resilience. Feedback sessions became particularly valuable, allowing the narrator to adjust approaches and demonstrate adaptability. They welcomed constructive criticism as a pathway to improvement, showing maturity and a genuine commitment to growth. This openness further distinguished them as a promising leader in the eyes of peers and superiors alike. The narrator balanced their intense focus on growth with humility, acknowledging the ongoing nature of learning. They set short and long-term goals, regularly reviewing progress and celebrating small victories. This structured approach maintained momentum and prevented discouragement, reinforcing a positive, forward-looking mindset. Over time, the narrator's hard work and dedication began to shift perceptions. Where once doubts lingered, respect and confidence grew. The narrator's transformation was not abrupt or dramatic, but steady and authentic, a demonstration that true leadership emerges through preparation, persistence, and integrity. This phase laid the critical groundwork for the opportunities that would soon present themselves. The narrator's investment in personal and professional development created the readiness to seize advancement when it arrived, proving that leadership is earned through sustained effort, not granted by circumstance. In sum, the narrator's quiet, disciplined preparation marked a turning point. It was the bridge from doubt to recognition, from potential to actualized leadership. This period of hard work exemplified the power of resilience and dedication in overcoming criticism and forging a path toward success. As the narrator continued their journey of growth and preparation, an unexpected opportunity arose. A leadership vacancy opened within the team. Whether due to a promotion, resignation, or organizational restructuring, the sudden availability of a supervisory role changed the trajectory of the narrator's career in a profound way. This moment became a pivotal test of readiness, determination, and the value of sustained effort. The opportunity did not come through a formal announcement alone. It was also communicated through informal channels within the company. Word spread that the team needed someone to step up, someone capable of leading with insight, commitment, and the ability to inspire confidence. The narrator, quietly aware of this opening, recognized that their consistent dedication and growing skills positioned them as a natural contender for the role. The coincidence of timing was striking. Only hours after the discouraging words from the manager, an opening had emerged that would soon offer a dramatic reversal of fortune. The irony was poignant. From being told, "You'll never lead," the narrator now faced a moment where leadership could be theirs to claim. This juxtaposition underscored the unpredictable nature of professional journeys and the power of perseverance. In the days leading up to the official decision, the narrator continued to engage proactively. They demonstrated readiness by taking on additional responsibilities, offering support to colleagues, and maintaining a steady focus on team goals. These actions were not ostentatious but rather consistent with the quiet leadership style they had been cultivating, effective, dependable, and forward-thinking. Colleagues and some supervisors began to voice support for the narrator's candidacy. This growing backing was a testament to how perceptions had shifted due to the narrator's hard work and integrity. The networks of respect and trust built over weeks and months now served as intangible endorsements, elevating the narrator's profile within the company. The narrator also prepared mentally and emotionally for the potential promotion. They understood that stepping into a leadership role would bring challenges alongside opportunities, managing new responsibilities, navigating team dynamics, and continuing personal development. However, rather than fearing these challenges, the narrator felt a growing confidence rooted in readiness and experience. This moment of opportunity was not merely about a job title, but about the recognition of potential realized through persistence. It validated the narrator's commitment to growth and resilience in the face of harsh judgment. The vacancy became more than an opening. It became a symbol of transformation and hope. Ultimately, the arrival of this opportunity set the stage for a turning point in the narrator's career. It presented a chance to move from preparation to action, from aspiration to achievement. The combination of timing, readiness, and determination coalesced into a defining moment, one that would soon rewrite expectations and prove that leadership is earned by those willing to rise when opportunity knocks. That very night, as the sun set and the day's bustle began to wane, the narrator received news that would forever alter the course of their career. The company officially announced their promotion to supervisor, a title and responsibility that once felt out of reach, especially in light of the manager's cruel dismissal just hours before. The timing was striking, almost poetic, a dramatic and unexpected reversal that underscored the sometimes unpredictable nature of professional life. The promotion announcement came through a call from Human Resources, followed by an invitation to meet with senior leadership. The narrator's heart raced with a mix of disbelief, excitement, and nervous anticipation. The validation from higher-ups was a powerful antidote to the earlier words of doubt, signaling that their hard work and perseverance had not gone unnoticed. Colleagues who heard the news reacted with a mixture of surprise and admiration. The swift turnaround from being told, "You'll never lead," to becoming a supervisor was a testament to overcoming adversity and defying expectations. For the narrator, the promotion was more than a new title. It was a public acknowledgement of their potential and a tangible reward for the resilience and dedication that had carried them through past challenges. The emotional impact was profound. The narrator felt a surge of pride and renewed confidence. The promotion was not only a milestone but a turning point, a sign that the path ahead was open and that leadership was no longer a distant dream but a real and attainable role. It brought a sense of vindication, affirming that harsh judgments are not immutable truths but challenges to be met and surpassed. The announcement also brought a flood of gratitude. The narrator reflected on the mentors, colleagues, and experiences that had supported their growth and prepared them for this moment. They recognized that leadership was about more than individual effort. It was about relationships, learning, and seizing the right moment. This pivotal moment also sparked a commitment to lead with integrity and empathy. Having experienced doubt and dismissal, the narrator resolved to be a supportive and encouraging leader, one who would nurture potential in others and foster a positive, inclusive environment. The promotion was not just an achievement but a responsibility to set a different tone for leadership. In the immediate aftermath, the narrator embraced the new role with a mix of humility and ambition. They understood that challenges remained, but the promotion was a clear signal that the journey of growth and leadership was underway. It was a moment of transition, from proving themselves to embodying the qualities of a leader. The night's news symbolized the power of perseverance, the unpredictability of opportunity, and the importance of self-belief. It marked a dramatic and inspiring chapter in the narrator's story, a journey from harsh dismissal to celebrated promotion, fueled by determination, hard work, and the courage to rise above doubt. As the day closed, the narrator looked to the future with hope and resolve, ready to step into the supervisory role with confidence, purpose, and a commitment to lead by example. This unexpected promotion was not just a career milestone. It was a powerful affirmation that leadership is possible, even when others say otherwise. Stepping into the role of supervisor brought a mix of excitement and new challenges for the narrator. No longer just a team member, they now carried the responsibility of guiding others, managing projects, and making decisions that would impact both individuals and the broader organization. The transition from being judged as someone who'll never lead to actually leading required the narrator to adapt quickly and cultivate skills beyond technical competence. The initial days were marked by a steep learning curve. The narrator realized that leadership demanded a balance between authority and empathy, decisiveness and patience. They needed to earn the trust and respect of team members who had known them as a peer, shifting from colleague to leader without alienating relationships. This transformation was delicate and required emotional intelligence, clear communication, and consistency. The narrator approached this challenge with humility and openness. Acknowledging that leadership was a new domain, they sought advice from experienced supervisors and mentors. They absorbed feedback, observed successful leadership styles, and reflected on their own experiences, especially the lessons learned from moments of doubt and resilience. This openness to growth became a cornerstone of their emerging leadership identity. In managing their team, the narrator prioritized clear expectations and open dialogue. They held regular one-on-one meetings to understand individual strengths, challenges, and aspirations. By fostering a culture of support and accountability, the narrator encouraged collaboration and enthusiasm. These efforts helped build a cohesive team environment where members felt valued and motivated. The narrator also quickly recognized the importance of leading by example. Demonstrating reliability, integrity, and a strong work ethic set the tone for the team. When challenges arose, tight deadlines, conflicts, or unexpected setbacks, the narrator remained calm and solution-focused, providing steady guidance that reassured the team and maintained productivity. Balancing operational responsibilities with strategic thinking became a key skill to develop. The narrator learned to delegate effectively, empowering team members while maintaining oversight. This delegation not only distributed workload but also fostered growth and confidence among colleagues, aligning with the narrator's vision of inclusive leadership. The transition also involved managing tougher situations, addressing underperformance, resolving conflicts, and making difficult decisions. The narrator approached these with fairness and transparency, relying on clear policies and empathetic communication. These experiences deepened their understanding of leadership's complexities and reinforced the importance of integrity. Throughout this period, the narrator remained mindful of their own development. They continued pursuing training, seeking feedback, and reflecting on their leadership journey. This commitment ensured ongoing growth and demonstrated that leadership is an evolving practice rather than a fixed state. By embracing the challenges of supervision with courage and adaptability, the narrator not only fulfilled the role but began to thrive in it. Their ability to navigate new responsibilities with grace and effectiveness gradually dispelled any lingering doubts, both from others and themselves, and established them as a capable and respected leader within the organization. This phase marked a significant step in the narrator's career, transforming initial recognition into sustained leadership. It was an affirmation that success in leadership arises from continuous learning, resilience, and the genuine desire to support and uplift others on the path to shared achievement. The training session was supposed to be a stepping stone, an opportunity filled with promise and potential. It was designed to prepare the next wave of leaders within the company, offering tools and insights to help ambitious employees rise into supervisory and managerial roles. The room buzzed with energy as colleagues gathered, many eager, hopeful, and ready to embrace the challenge. The narrator, too, arrived with a mixture of nerves and excitement, ready to prove themselves and take the first step toward leadership. From the start, the atmosphere was intense yet hopeful. The trainer outlined the objectives, emphasizing the importance of leadership skills, communication, and strategic thinking. Team exercises, presentations, and role-playing activities filled the day, pushing participants to demonstrate their abilities and potential. Throughout the session, the narrator contributed thoughtfully, showing engagement and a willingness to learn. Their efforts did not go unnoticed by some peers, creating a sense of momentum and purpose. However, the manager overseeing the training left a very different impression. Known for a tough management style, the manager had a reputation for being blunt and unyielding, often delivering criticism without cushioning. As the session progressed, the manager's focus grew sharper and increasingly critical. To many, the manager's remarks were harsh, but the narrator had hoped their dedication might soften the judgment. Then came the pivotal moment. During a segment of the training where participants were asked to lead a group exercise, the narrator took the floor. Despite some initial jitters, they led with clarity and conviction, guiding the team through the challenge. Yet, rather than receiving encouragement or constructive feedback, the manager's response was unexpectedly brutal. With a dismissive tone and steely gaze, the manager declared in front of everyone, "You'll never lead." The words hit like a blow. The room fell silent, the hopeful energy draining instantly. The statement was not just criticism. It was a verdict, sharper, more profound, and more personal than anything before. It implied that attempts at growth and leadership were futile, extinguishing any immediate hope the narrator had nurtured. The manager's delivery left no room for discussion or debate, rendering the statement as an absolute judgment on the narrator's future. The sting of the words was amplified by the public nature of the remark. Colleagues who had shared the same aspirations now looked with a mix of surprise and awkward silence. Some exchanged uneasy glances, unsure how to respond. The narrator felt exposed and isolated in that moment, vulnerable to not just the criticism itself but the weight of witnessing eyes and unspoken judgments all around. Internally, the narrator's confidence wavered. The declaration, "You'll never lead," replayed relentlessly in their mind, casting doubt on everything they had believed about their capabilities and future. It challenged years of hard work, ambition, and commitment. The ambition to lead, once a bright flame, flickered under the harsh judgment. The narrator grappled with a surge of questions. Was the manager right? Did they really lack the qualities needed to lead? Was all their effort meaningless? Yet, even amid the shock and pain, a flicker of defiance ignited. The narrator recognized that one person's harsh judgment should not dictate their entire career or self-worth. While the words were delivered with finality, the narrator understood that growth and leadership potential cannot be measured in a single moment. Leadership is not solely a gift but often a product of perseverance, learning, and opportunity. This moment became a turning point, the crucible in which resilience was forged. The narrator resolved not to let the manager's words become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, those words fueled a determination to prove wrong the harshest critic and to rise beyond dismissive labels. The sting of that declaration was both a source of pain and a catalyst for determination, setting the stage for a journey marked by self-discovery, hard work, and eventual triumph. Looking around the room, the narrator saw colleagues continuing with the training, yet felt distinctly alone with the heavy weight of the manager's pronouncement. The path forward suddenly seemed fraught with uncertainty. However, beneath the discomfort lay a grounding truth. Potential is often unseen by those quick to judge, and true leaders emerge through challenges, setbacks, and unwavering commitment. That day's training session, intended as a hopeful beginning, had delivered both a harsh blow and an awakening. The manager's blunt declaration was a moment that could have ended ambitions, but for the narrator, it was instead the spark that ignited a fierce determination to turn doubt into achievement, silence into leadership, and rejection into opportunity. In the days that followed, the memory of the manager's words would serve not as an anchor but as a driving force, a reminder of what was at stake and what could be accomplished through resilience, effort, and belief in oneself. This first moment of harsh criticism became the foundation upon which the narrator would build a story of unexpected promotion and leadership that no one had predicted. Emboldened by their recent promotion and the shift in their role, the narrator began to take greater initiative within the team and beyond. No longer content with quiet contributions behind the scenes, they embraced the responsibilities of leadership with enthusiasm, confidence, and a clear vision for positive impact. This new phase was marked by proactive engagement, greater visibility, and a commitment to exemplify the qualities they had long aspired to embody. The narrator's first step was to enhance communication within the team. They organized regular meetings, not just to report updates but to encourage open dialogue, brainstorming, and collaboration. By fostering an environment where every voice was valued, the narrator nurtured a sense of shared purpose and team cohesion. This inclusive approach contrasted with the previously top-down style they had experienced, demonstrating leadership grounded in respect and empowerment. Taking initiative also meant identifying challenges and opportunities before they became urgent crises. The narrator developed a strategic mindset, analyzing workflows, anticipating obstacles, and proposing solutions proactively. This foresight impressed both colleagues and upper management, signaling that the narrator was thinking beyond immediate tasks and considering the long-term health of the team and projects. Furthermore, the narrator became a mentor to less experienced colleagues, sharing knowledge and offering encouragement. Drawing from their own journey from doubt to leadership, they understood the importance of support and motivation. This mentorship fostered growth in others and reinforced the narrator's role as a leader who uplifts rather than competes. The narrator also took steps to broaden their influence within the organization. They volunteered for cross-department projects and sought opportunities to collaborate with other teams. This expansion of their professional network helped the narrator gain new perspectives, develop additional skills, and increase their visibility as a capable and forward-thinking leader. Challenges remained, of course. The narrator occasionally faced residual skepticism from some peers and even from their former manager. Yet, these obstacles were met not with defensiveness but with patience, professionalism, and a focus on consistent performance. The narrator's steady confidence helped to gradually shift attitudes and build credibility. This period of initiative-taking generated a positive feedback loop. Increased influence and recognition bolstered the narrator's confidence, which in turn fueled further proactive efforts. The narrator no longer hesitated to voice ideas or step into leadership moments. Their presence became integral to the team's success. Through these actions, The narrator not only fulfilled the responsibilities of their new role but redefined it, setting a standard for engaged, empathetic, and strategic leadership. Their transformation, from being told, "You'll never lead," to leading with vision and initiative, became a powerful narrative of growth and possibility. This proactive phase was pivotal in solidifying the narrator's position as a respected leader and in laying the groundwork for continued advancement and impact within the organization. It showcased how leadership is not merely a position but an active, evolving practice that inspires and drives collective achievement. Despite the narrator's increasing confidence and proactive leadership, obstacles still emerged, challenging their journey toward full acceptance and influence. Lingering skepticism from some colleagues, including the manager who had once doubted them, served as constant reminders that earning trust and respect is an ongoing process rather than a one-time achievement. These challenges tested the narrator's resilience, patience, and strategic acumen. The manager's attitude, initially harsh and dismissive, had softened only marginally. While overt hostility waned, subtle resistance and moments of doubt persisted in interactions. The narrator sometimes encountered situations where their ideas were questioned more rigorously or their decisions met with quiet skepticism. These moments underscored the reality that changing deep-seated perceptions requires both time and consistent demonstration of capability. Navigating office politics also presented challenges. Relationships between team members, competition for resources, and shifting priorities demanded that the narrator sharpen interpersonal skills and emotional intelligence. The narrator learned to read the room, understanding when to push assertively and when to build consensus more gently. This balance was crucial in maintaining credibility while fostering cooperative relationships. The narrator approached these challenges strategically. They prioritized professionalism, focusing on delivering quality results while managing conflicts with diplomacy. They sought allies within and beyond the team, building networks of support that could amplify their contributions and buffer against resistance. These relationships proved invaluable in overcoming obstacles and creating opportunities. Feedback loops played a key role in continuous improvement. The narrator welcomed constructive criticism as a tool for growth, swiftly addressing concerns and adapting strategies where necessary. This responsiveness deepened trust among peers and supervisors alike, signaling maturity and commitment to excellence. The emotional toll of persistent challenges was acknowledged honestly. The narrator recognized the importance of self-care and maintaining perspective, drawing on resilience built from earlier experiences of criticism and doubt. They balanced ambition with patience, understanding that some victories unfold gradually. The cumulative effect of overcoming skepticism and politics was a gradual but meaningful shift in perception. As consistent performance reinforced the narrator's value, peers began to embrace their leadership more fully. The once difficult interactions gave way to collaboration and respect, though the journey required perseverance. This phase of navigating challenges was transformative. It sharpened the narrator's leadership skills, expanded emotional intelligence, and instilled a deep understanding of organizational dynamics. The narrator emerged stronger, more adaptable, and better equipped to lead effectively amid complexity. Ultimately, the obstacles encountered were not roadblocks but essential elements of growth. They underscored that leadership is as much about navigating relationships and politics as it is about task execution. The narrator's ability to face these challenges with grace and strategy positioned them for sustained success and set an example for others facing similar hurdles. This chapter reaffirmed the narrator's commitment to integrity and resilience, proving that leadership is earned through consistent effort, empathy, and the courage to persist despite resistance. It was a testament to the power of perseverance in transforming skepticism into support and potential into realized impact. The narrator faced lingering skepticism and subtle resistance from some colleagues, including the once critical manager, who remained cautious in fully accepting their leadership. These ongoing challenges underscored that gaining respect and trust requires more than a title. It demands consistent proof of competence and integrity. The narrator met these obstacles with professionalism, diplomacy, and a strategic approach to office dynamics. They sought allies, nurtured positive relationships, and welcomed constructive feedback, using every experience as a learning opportunity. This perseverance gradually softened doubts and improved teamwork, reinforcing the narrator's credibility and leadership presence. Emotionally, the narrator balanced ambition with self-care, recognizing that meaningful change often unfolds over time. This phase deepened their leadership skills and emotional intelligence, proving that true leadership involves navigating interpersonal complexities with resilience, patience, and unwavering commitment. The narrator's journey through these challenges became a powerful example of how persistence and integrity turn skepticism into respect and obstacles into growth. The culmination of the narrator's journey marked a profound and transformative milestone. From the depths of harsh criticism and self-doubt, they emerged as a confident, respected leader whose career trajectory had been fundamentally reshaped. This final chapter was not just about reaching a position of authority. It was about the growth, resilience, and integrity that had defined the path to leadership and set the stage for a future filled with potential. With a sturdy foundation built on experience, learning, and triumph over adversity, the narrator embraced the full responsibilities of leadership with enthusiasm and determination. They approached the role not merely as a title but as a platform to inspire, support, and elevate those around them. The lessons learned from earlier challenges, especially the pain of dismissal and the power of perseverance, became guiding principles in their leadership philosophy. The impact of the narrator's journey extended beyond personal achievement. They became a beacon of possibility for others within the organization, demonstrating that setbacks are not career-ending but can be catalysts for profound growth. Through mentorship and example, the narrator encouraged colleagues facing their own doubts, fostering a culture of encouragement, resilience, and continuous improvement. Recognition from peers, supervisors, and even former skeptics reinforced the narrator's position as a leader who had earned trust through action and authenticity. The shift in perception, from someone doubted and dismissed to a figure of respect, highlighted the transformative power of perseverance and consistent excellence. Looking forward, the narrator carried a clear vision for sustained growth and positive impact. They remained committed to learning, adapting, and leading with empathy and strategic insight. The experiences that once challenged their confidence now fueled ambition, reminding them that leadership is a journey of continual evolution rather than a fixed achievement. This final stage of the story embodied the triumph of character over circumstance. The narrator's journey illustrated how resilience, self-belief, and dedication can rewrite narratives, overturn assumptions, and redefine potential. It was a testament to the idea that true leadership arises not from unchallenged acceptance, but from the courage to rise above criticism and seize opportunity. As the narrator stepped fully into their role, they did so with gratitude for the lessons of the past and optimism for the future. Their story served as an enduring reminder that the path to leadership is often forged in the crucible of adversity, and that persistence, integrity, and vision illuminate the way forward. Ultimately, the narrator's journey was not just about a promotion or a title. It was about growth, transformation, and realizing the promise that once seemed denied. It was a powerful narrative of hope and empowerment, inspiring others to believe that no matter the obstacles, leadership, and success are within reach for those who choose to persevere.